Good morning, and thank you for watching this morning, wherever you are. So many times in life, we try something only to see it fail. The problem is that sometimes we just give up. But have you ever wondered what might have happened if you followed that old adage, if at first you don't succeed, try again? Well, this morning, I want to tell you about a man who tried and failed repeatedly. And he was so discouraged that at one point he nearly took his own life. Tom was not an exceptionally bright man. In fact, although he did go to college, he was hardly a model student. He struggled with his studies and received passing grades, but just barely. In 1814, he graduated from college, and with his diploma in his hand and flat broke, he set out to try to get some type of employment that would allow him at least to pay the bills. He took a job working as a teacher in a primary school. But without any experience, he was squashed by his students in less than a week. Rejected and humiliated, he came home after a long, hard day. Tears filled his eyes as he told his wife of the rejection that he felt and the deep discouragement that had just gripped his heart. And she comforted him with these words: "Tom, don't be too sad about it. I know there's a more suitable job waiting for you out there somewhere." Well, weeks and months went by, and his financial condition grew worse, much worse. Desperate, he took another job, but again, without any experience and lacking in self-confidence, he was fired. And that night, his wife told him, "My dearest Tom, there's always people out there who are skillful at what they do. They have vast experience. But you've been in school all this while, and someday you'll have those needed skills." Well, over the next few months, Tom went from job to job, never staying very long at any of them before being fired. Each time, he would return home utterly dejected. And each time, his wife would always comfort him, never once expressing the least bit of disappointment or discouragement. Before long, the bills had become overwhelming, and Tom had decided the only way out would be to kill himself. He was so deeply in debt, and he felt as though he was a complete failure. But as he walked out onto the bridge that he was going to jump from into the freezing waters below, he glanced down at the ground. And there, lying on the side of the bridge, was an old crumpled newspaper. But what caught his eye was an advertisement for a new school that was opening, and they were looking to hire a new school counselor. And Tom was well into his 30s, and he'd always had an interest in languages, but he decided to make one more try. So he applied for the temporary job as a counselor at a school for the deaf. Much to his surprise, he flourished at this new opportunity, and the students loved him. A few years later, he had saved up enough money to open his own school for the disabled. His unique teaching methods were immensely successful. And within a few short years, he opened up a store selling apparatus and equipment for the disabled. Within 5 years, Tom had an entire chain of stores operating in several cities, and his school was growing like crazy. One day, Tom came home and asked his wife a very important question. He said, "When I was so discouraged at all my failures, how could you have had so much faith in me?" His wife gave him a very simple reply. She said, "Back when I was a young girl, I grew up on a farm. And we learned very quickly that if a piece of land is not suitable for planting wheat, then we should plant beans. And if the beans aren't growing well, we should try planting fruits. And if the fruits don't grow, we should plant hay." You see, Tom, sooner or later, the seeds we plant will one day take hold and grow. On every piece of land, There is something that will grow. We just have to find it. Tom listened to his wife's explanation and he burst into tears. His wife's faith and love and patience with him was just like that land. He just needed to find the seed that would take hold and create a miracle. Thomas Hopkins Gallaudet learned a very valuable lesson about the importance of persistence. The Gallaudet School for the Deaf was later taken over by his son and moved to Washington, D.C., and today it's the largest school for handicapped students in the entire United States. Tom would later write these words: "In this world, there's not one person who is useless. It's just that they have not yet planted themselves firmly in the right place." Have you experienced failure in your life? Is there something that maybe you've tried and it didn't work out so well? Congratulations, you're in great company. When the wheat fails, try beans. And if they fail, try fruit. The point is, don't ever stop trying, and don't ever give up. I pray that you have a blessed day today. Each morning, look to this Facebook page for more encouraging videos that will help to lift your spirits. And as always, I encourage you to leave a comment, hit that like button, and feel free to share this video with your friends. Thank you, and God bless you as you go through your day today.